okay? Y'all can hear me okay? How's everybody doing? Come on, that's it? How's everybody doing? Come on. Hey, it's exciting to be here. I want to say thank you to Justin. I want to say thank you to Bill. I want to say thank you to Art. It's a great, great privilege. It's a great honor to be with you here over the next 30 or so minutes. I have an enormous amount of respect for this office. I have an enormous amount of respect for Keller Williams. I have an enormous amount of respect for each and every one of you that are here today. Because my belief is that if you're here today, it lets me know that you're not just interested in your success. It lets me know that you're committed to it. Would y'all agree with that, yes or no? Yes. Okay, great. So give yourself a huge round. Awesome. So I've got a great message for you here today. That I'm excited about delivering this message. I never know who needs to hear the message. There might be somebody in this room, because sometimes people say, oh man, here he comes. You know, he's the guy that wants you to quit smoking, lose weight, pick up the phone, start prospecting, doing all that kind of stuff. So I don't know who in this room really is in need of that message here today. But again, as like Justin said, my name is Brett Figueroa. I trained alongside motivational speaker Tony Robbins for quite some time. As his #1 trainer, broke all kinds of records, had all kinds of fun stuff. But just out of curiosity, how many of you are familiar with Tony Robbins? How many of you are familiar? Of course, most of the room. Where some of you familiar with Tony from? Reputation, television. Television from where? From YouTube? Is that okay from YouTube? Yeah. What's that? Books. Sure, books, seminars, tapes, all that kind of stuff. So I went to work with Robbins back many years ago, but before I do that, I want to acknowledge this group here. You guys are an extraordinary group of leaders. You've got an extraordinary leadership team over here, and I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but would y'all agree that the speed of the pack is based upon the speed of the leader? Would y'all agree with that, yes or no? Yes. Would y'all agree with that, yes or no? Yes. Absolutely, right? I mean, you got a weak leader, you got a weak team. You got a strong leader, you got a strong team. So when I look out upon this audience here, and I was here about 4 years ago delivering the awards banquet as well. About 4 years, Justin, about there? Yeah. So we're here back now today. And I get a chance to see some familiar faces and, of course, some new faces here in this room. So it's been quite a journey for me. I traveled alongside, as I mentioned, with Tony Robbins for quite a few years. I moved 25 times in 5 years. 25 times in 5 years. I trained over 3,000 companies all across America. It's been a great, great opportunity to see really incredible parts of the world and meet some really amazing leaders. And so it's always great when I get to deliver and share a message. And people invariably ask me, I'll share a little bit today, a little bit of strategy, talk a little bit about, my story and so forth. And people ask me all the time, they say, Brett, how do you get into the motivational business? How do you become a motivational guy? Like, how is that? And I said, well, there was a part of my life back in 1995 where I had no job, no money, and no car. I like a triple three, I said, if I'm going to do it wrong, I'm just going to mess up the whole thing. No money, no job, no car. Do it all right? And so I was always taught that if you're struggling or if you're having a hard time financially, you got to hang out with people that can help you rise rank. Would y'all agree with that, yes or no? Yes. Right? I mean, you can't be poor. See, I was poor. I was taught if you're poor, hang out with rich people. Because you can't be poor and hang out with other poor people. That's no fun. It's like, you got any money? No. You got any money? No. It's like, how are we going to do things? So I was taught that if you're unsuccessful, you got to find somebody successful to help you. So in 1995, and I'd heard about Tony Robbins, I'd been involved in some of the different things, audio tapes, personal power, and things of that nature. Didn't have the resources to actually attend any of his live events. So in 1995, when I had no job, no money, no car, I thought, hey, this guy, Tony Robbins, I thought he could probably help a misfit like me. Somebody's just totally down. So I remember I just showed up to his office. A lot of times people ask me, well, should I just go knock on their door? I'm like, dude, I just went and knocked on Tony Robbins' door. I mean, just do it. Just figure out a way to step up. And people are so afraid. And I said, forget about it, man, dude, just show up. People say, well, why just show up? I said, well, because I wasn't invited. I was used to that stuff all the way back in high school. I show up to a party, right? Answer the door, you're like, you weren't invited. I know, I thought maybe you missed me somewhere along the way. I just got to show up. And so I showed up to the office. I'm sitting in the little lobby area, and they want to come out and sell me a bunch of stuff. I'm a broken down guy with no money. I ain't got nothing to buy. And I'm sitting there. I just wanted to be part of the environment. I just wanted to get close to the epicenter of success. I just wanted to feel what that felt like. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and I heard Tony's big old voice. And I thought, wait a minute, that's not over the PA system. I thought he's here in the building. And I just remember I jumped up and I went down the hallway and I just watched. I looked down to my right and I saw him and his people coming right at me. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Tony Robbins. You know, I'm just this kid, got no money, got nothing. All this success is coming right at me. And I'm like, wow. And so he was heading in the elevator. I jumped right in front. I said, hi, my name is Brett Figueroa. And we got into the elevator. All of his people, to me, they just disappeared. You know, it was just Tony and I, you know, even though there's all these people around. I walked him out to his car and I said, I'm going to work for this man. I said, I'm going to figure out a way. I'm going to go to work. And they brought me on. They brought me on. They brought me on at $7.50 an hour. They brought me down into the boiler room in the bowels of the basement and said, man, if you can make it here, then you can make it probably anywhere, but we're going to start you right here. So they brought me in as a telemarketer. And I remember when I was out there as a telemarketer, my friend, remember I said if you're poor, hang out with who? You gotta hang out with rich people. Yeah, I can't be poor, hang out with more poor people. So I'm rich, I'm poor, I hang out with my rich friend. So my rich friend drives me and I'm living with him. He drives me, drops me off at a bus stop. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but he drops me off at a bus stop out of his limousine. Seriously, it's a limousine. He's like, dude, out. I'm in my suit, my tie. I'm getting into a bus. I throw a couple quarters in, takes me anywhere around the world I pretty much want to go. It takes me to the office. I go to the office. I'm dressed in my suit and tie like I own the building. I'm making in the bowels in a little cubicle. Everybody else wearing flip-flops. We're in San Diego. They're just kind of dressed in casual. I'm like, forget about it, dude. I'm rising rank. I got to dress the part. I got to feel it. I got to feel the thing. So I'd go to the office. They'd drop me off. The bus would drop me off. I'd walk across the street. I'd work all day down in the basement of the company, making phone calls all day for $7.50 an hour. I'd get out. I'd get off work. I'd go back to where the bus was. I'd jump into the bus. The bus would then take me downtown San Diego. I would then get out of the bus. I would then jump into a train. The train would then take me inland, and then I would jump into a cab. By the time I got home, I was BROKE, right? I had no money left. All my money's went for travel. But see, I knew that something great was destined. See, and I know that you in this room know that no matter where you are right now, I know that you know that something great is destined for your future. Would you all agree with that, yes or no? Yes. Absolutely. You might have to put out some money for marketing. You might have to put out some money for promoting. You might have to go buy yourself some new, outfits and stuff, but you know you're destined for something great. So it's all just an investment. I knew I was investing into myself. I knew I was investing into that place right there. And so I'd get home, nothing was happening. So they finally said, well, listen, Brett, they said, we really like you. They said, but you're too loud for the office. Anybody ever worked in a corporate office before? Right? They're like quiet, they tiptoe around, everything's so soft-spoken. And so they're like, dude, let's get this guy out of here. He's just too much for us. So they sent me out on the road. They sent me out on the road with a group of what Tony has a very specific team, they call it FSRs. It's like his Navy SEAL, small little group. Travel the country 48 weeks out of the year on the road. You just lived on the road. And you trained and you motivated and you built your skill sets. So they threw me out there in San Francisco in 1995. And 2 weeks out of me being out there, 2 weeks, I'm with a small group of about 7 or 8 people. I was the next member. 2 weeks into the game, they pulled me off to the side and they said, dude, listen, we like you, but we got to let you go. I'm like, dude, it's only been 2 weeks. They said, yeah, but we've got somebody that's better than you. So we need to let you go. And I thought, man, that's just not work. That's just not right. But they said, listen, we're leaving San Francisco. We're heading to Los Angeles. They said, you originally originated from Los Angeles. They said, you're welcome to go to Los Angeles, dude. We can't tell you what you can and cannot do and where you can go and can't go. And you can go to Los Angeles, but we're not giving you a car. We're not giving you housing. We're not giving you appointments. We're not giving you money. We're not giving you anything, dude. But if you like this guy TR so much, Tony Robbins, have at it. I took him up on it. I said, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go. I'm going to figure it out. I don't have any money. They just took my car away. I got no housing. I'm not sure where the heck I'm going to live, what I'm going to drive, how I'm going to set any appointments. But you know what? What do committed people do? They do whatever it takes. Committed people do whatever it takes. Uncommitted people do whatever's convenient. Oh, if it's convenient, I'll do it. Committed people do whatever it takes. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes kind of guy. So I said, man, I went to one of my friends. He goes, listen, dude, I know you ain't have anywhere to live. He said, we're all booked out here at the house. You can't live here with us, but I got a boat. He said, I'm Marina Del Rey. He said, I got a boat. Now, so he said, you can live on the boat. Now, I got to remind people sometimes because they think a yacht and a boat are the same thing. Yachts are big, boats are small. Right? I'm 6'5", in the little front of this boat. And I'd wake up in the morning and I said, man, I'm ready to seize the day. And all the other people were getting out of their boats and they were heading into the community shower to, flip-flops and go take their boats and their yachts out for the day. And I'm in there with my blow dryer back in the day, so I had some hair and I had my suit on and I'm getting ready. I said, man, I'm going to get ready for the day. And so back in the days when cell phones were not so available, I would go with a pocket full of dimes. And I'd find a payphone. Y'all remember the payphones out on the side of the streets and stuff? I remember those payphones, right? You pull over your car, there's a payphone, you gotta make a call, bam. I'd go to the payphone, and y'all remember the phone books that would hang down with the big cord? Y'all remember that, right? And that cord, and I would take that phone book, and I'd start flipping through pages, and I'd start calling companies. I'd start setting up opportunities. I'd start making things happen. And once I started setting up opportunities, started making appointments out of a payphone in the yellow pages, back in the days. Now it's so easy, you get on Google, you got phones, you got computers, like all the resources, and people still scrap. And I said, man, there's a way out there to do this. And so then I would figure out, okay, I got all these appointments. How am I going to get there? So I was back on the bus. I'd be like, okay, well, this is the bus stop. Okay, now it's going to connect me with this place over here, and then it's going to take me over there, and I got a train over there. I might be on a bus for the next 2-3 hours just to get to an appointment. But I said, there's always a way when you're committed. There's always a way. So I don't know where you are in your life, your business, your fitness, your finance, your marriage. I don't know what any of that is. But if you're scrapping and struggling into that, you got to remind yourself there's always a way. Say there's always a way.
There's always a way.
Say there's always a way.
Always a way.
There's always a way. There's always a way. There's always a way. There's never a way for the ones that are not committed. So I'd get on the bus. I'd start making things happen. I'm making phone calls out of payphones, taking buses, sleeping on a boat, showering in community showers, just to make it happen. And then ultimately, I started to have some success. We had dinner with Tony Robbins at Magic Castle in Hollywood. He said, listen, dude, he said, if you're willing to do what you did, take buses, payphones, cabs, trains, and do all kind of stuff, he's like, dude, you're back on our team. He said, you got your car back, you got your housing back, you got this back, we're going to give you the whole kit and caboodle, bro, because you made it happen for yourself. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you, just out of curiosity, how many of you have ever found yourself finding success, maybe in some part of your life, fitness, finance, and stuff, and then you found some way to just mess it all up? Anybody? Show hands. Anybody? Just find a way to just mess it all up. Mess up the marriage, mess up the fitness, mess up the finance, just mess it all up. They call that in our world sabotage. Now, I'm sure nobody in this room's ever had anything like that, right? No. Find a way to mess it all up. So there was a day that turned it all around for me. So they brought me on, I found a way to mess it up. It's December 15th, 1996. All the team is being sent to Tony's house at a Christmas party in La Jolla, California on the beach. They take this little misfit kid, they said, listen, dude, we need you to see you in the executive office. I wasn't sure what was happening. I walked into the office that day. It was 9:10. My appointment with my boss was at 9 o'clock. See, back in the time, I thought 9 and 9:10 were the same. I found out they were distinctively different. She was real clear, it's 9:10. I thought, yeah, but it's close to 9. Closer to 9 than it is 10. And she said, no, dude, listen, you're already messing it up. I walked into the office, there were a set of pink papers on the desk. What are pink papers? Anybody know what pink papers represent? You're fired, right? They said, dude, you're fired, bro. They said, you are fired. I walked in, my boss said, dude, you're fired. Her name was Deborah. Deborah sat across from me. She had nothing more than pink papers on the desk, waiting for a signature. I recognized one of two things. See, I recognized one of two things. I can either step up or step aside. See, I could think for a minute, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe this industry's too rough. Maybe it's too tough. Maybe this is a throat-getting, just slice them in the back type of business. And I thought, no, that's hogwash. I said, no way. I said, I'm destined for this. I'm cut out for this. This is it. And I stood up from where I was at, sitting down. I stood up and I said, I am not leaving. I said, you cannot fire me. I said, you'll have to call security. I said, because I'm not going anywhere. See, I was so committed. That they might have an agenda that says, oh, you suck and you're this and you're that. But see, I know deep down inside, and like you do, you might go through struggling times, difficult times, challenging times, but we all know deep down inside there's something great within inside of us. I said, you cannot fire me. She said, Brett, I'll give you one more shot. She said, I'll give you one more shot. I said, you give me that one more shot, I promise you, I'll break records, sales records, income records, I'll break it all. I'll do things this company's never seen. Her eyes just all lit up. I'll give you that one more shot. See, because originally she was just looking for a signature, not a debate. She wasn't looking for me to come and debate with her. Just give me a signature, dude. Let's get you out the back door quietly. But see, there was no way I was going to go. There was no way. She gave me that one more shot, showed up at Tony's house that afternoon, knocked at the front door. Big Tony answers the door. He's like, dude, what are you doing here? My guy's already supposed to fire you. He thought, if you can get through my executive team, my sharpshooters, if you can get through them, then you can get through the average man and woman on the street. And he gave me that opportunity. He gave me that shot. And I took that shot and I started taking my income, $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 a check. I finally thought, okay, I'm in a great place. 10 grand's a lot of money. I wasn't making much money in my early days. I was broke as broke. A lot of money is $10,000. But I said, you know what? I thought, what if I could take a Ferrari and take it out of the neighborhood? See, because you can't get much traction with the Ferrari in the neighborhood. Right? You start taking down people, dogs, mailboxes, throwing a Ferrari down in the neighborhood. Doesn't work. Got to take it to the desert to really see what's under that hood. So I wanted to see what was really up under the side of me. Ultimately, I took my income, the very next paycheck, from $10,000 to $100,000 in a one paycheck jump. Broke every sales record, every income record, and all the naysayers, fence sitters, the cheap seaters, all those people that sit up there and say, oh, he'll never make it. Oh, he'll never become anything. And in one time, in one moment, with that decision, see, every single person has a different version of you. You, I promise, haven't even met yet. See, what I find is that people find the best version of themselves in the worst of circumstances. The worst of circumstances. Wouldn't you all agree with that, yes or no? The worst of circumstances. See, here's the deal. We talked about this yesterday. See, here's the deal. Anybody can go out there during, oh yeah, real estate's amazing. Oh, things are selling off this, and oh, we got plenty of listings. See, anybody can do it during good times, guys. That's not where it's built. It's built during the rough seasons. It's built during the tough times. It's built during the challenging times. People say, they go, oh yeah, I'm going to write it. You'll go write a book. I say, dude, listen, anybody can go write a book on a nice sunny day. You got some lemonade going on, right? Great opportunities, money's being thrown at you, opportunities being thrown at you. Yeah, anybody can go write and bang pages during those days. I said, but can you bang pages in your basement during the depths of depression? Can you do it when your marriage is upside down and an absolute nightmare? Can you do it when your finances and when your fitness? Because anybody can do it when times are great. Anybody can do it when the market's awesome. Money's being thrown at you, but that's not who you become. That's not who you really become, who you really are. Deep down inside, there's a you haven't met yet. And I promise you, you will know when you meet that you. There's this you that's this everyday you. And then up underneath that, boom, there's something so much bigger and so much powerful. So let's get to the point. What changed? So what really changed? Here's what changed. Y'all want to know what changed? Yes or no? Yes. Here's what changed. The belief changed. See, our belief systems control our lives. See, right now, you don't outsell or out-earn or outlist your belief systems. See, right now, you are as healthy as your belief. Right now, your income is in direct proportion to your belief. So a belief is something that you and I just picked up. Mom had a belief, Dad had a belief. We left out a house to send us off with a great set of luggage. Here, kids, good luck. Here's your beliefs. So we don't really question those beliefs. We are those beliefs. Until one day we snap through and we break through that belief. And we go, oh, wow, that was just a myth. What was the belief that we had? What was the belief that we had as a culture? What was the belief that we had about the earth back in the days? The earth was what? The earth was... There's just only two people know? The earth was what? Flat. Has the earth ever been flat, yes or no? No. No, it's never, ever, ever been flat. The earth has never been flat. It's always been round. But see, we get caught up in the belief that, oh, the earth is flat. That then locks down limitations to possibilities. So space travel was not possible due to the limiting belief that the earth was flat. Now, once we identified the earth was round, bam, it opened up all possibilities for all space. Once we identified that, but it had been locked down for years and years and years and years and generations and generations and generations because the belief was that it's flat. Now, once we changed that, who ran the first 4-minute mile? Who broke the first 4-minute mile?
The guy who lost to the other guy.
The guy who lost to the other guy. Nice.
He was second, and then he beat it because he.
Yeah, but who is that?
I don't know.
Prefontaine. Was it Prefontaine?
Who said that?
Prefontaine.
Nice. Roger Bannister. Yes, Roger Bannister. Now, sir, what was the belief of that back in 1957? What was the belief of the 4-minute mile? What was that? That you would die. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the heart would explode. Exactly. Right. They said literally the doctors said the heart would literally explode. So it did literally inspire a bunch of people to wake up out of bed and go, yeah, today's the day, right? Yeah, the doctors say your heart's going to explode. No, I'm out. Right? Roger Bannister in 1957 said today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day I'm going to break and defy all the rules. Today's the day I'm going to break and defy all the beliefs that said it's humanly impossible. Today's the day. That day, he did it in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. 3 minutes and 59 seconds. 1 month later, 37 other people ran the 4-minute mile. Nobody in history all the way back did it until Roger Bannister made it an example. Other people said, all right, if Roger can do it, dang it, I can do it. If that person can become a millionaire in real estate, I can do it. If that person can do it during the toughest and roughest of seasons of life, then I can do it. See, my question for you is, what's your 4-minute mile? See, what's your 4-minute mile? What's the 4-minute mile that you can go home tonight thinking about? What 4-minute mile must I break? See, who's in your family history that said, oh, it's impossible, you can't do it. Grandma never did it, mom never did it, dad never did it, uncle never did it, aunt never did it, generations never did it, generations never did it, generations never did it. Who are you listening to, damn it? Seriously, what's your 4-minute mile? What if you put on your running shoes? What if you get your gears in straight? What could you break? What seriously could you break so you can create a whole new trajectory? See, when I was 19 years old, I borrowed $50 to head out of town. I headed on a Greyhound bus. I didn't go to a day of college. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew if I was hung out with the misfits that I was at, I'd probably die, like many of them today. But see, I didn't want my future to be the same as mine. When my 19-year-old kid graduated high school, he graduated with a 4.5 and a $250,000 scholarship. He went to Budapest, and now he's studying for his master's, getting his math. My middle son, Grant's 20 years old, graduated 4.3 out of high school, got full ride scholarship. He got everything, he said, bam. See, I was so committed, I was so determined. Nobody in my family, all the way back, nobody went to college. Nobody had any education in that capacity. They said, oh, if you're going to make it, you'll find some way to make it. I said, no, not my kids. We're going to create a whole new trajectory based on a whole new belief systems. Now, do you think their future generations will be different because of the decisions that I made? Yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely. So your generations ahead of you will be based upon what decisions you make, what belief you overcome, what 4-minute mile will you overcome. So I want to do a quick little exercise here. Who wants to have some fun? Yes?
Yeah.
Want to have some fun? Okay, great. So what I need is somebody in this room right now, because we're all about breaking beliefs. We're all about snapping through. We're all about getting to a whole new level. Whether it be in your fitness, your finances, your marriage, your own confidence, your own self-esteem, whatever that is, it's about busting through limitations, busting through the noise of the past. The people said, there's no way, teachers and parents and all that kind of stuff. So what I need somebody to come up in the front of the room, if you will, and I need somebody that's really committed to breaking through here today. I mean, you got to be really committed. So who is that one person that we're going to have here today? Who's that one person?
Raise your hand.
Okay, great.
Let's give a round of applause.
Awesome. What's your name? Felicia. Awesome. Okay, come on, give Felicia a huge round of applause.